Hey crafters, welcome into guyscrafttoo. My name is John and I hope that you have had an amazing weekend. And I'm trying to figure out where to look because I've got cameras everywhere, lights going everywhere, and so much going on to get used to. So we are in the process of still working on finalizing the setup in the studio. I think we're getting close. We managed to get all the cameras installed, all the lights installed. And then, of course, now half the cameras don't want to connect and work. So we'll figure that out. All right, let me take the scrolling. I figured out how to do the scrolling, and yet it doesn't, it's in the middle of the screen. I was hoping to make it lower, and I don't know how to do that yet in the software. So welcome in. I hope things are going your way. We have lots to catch up on, lots to talk about this weekend. It has been crazy. I've been bouncing around YouTube this weekend, trying to catch up on some of the lives for others and think I've done a decent job. And then at the same time, I have lots going on here as well. So let's jump into it. If you're a new subscriber and new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for being part of the channel. And thanks for dropping in and listening to what's going on. So let's jump into the chat and see what's happening. Russ was first in today. He says, hi, John. Hi, chat. Last Sunday before DST starts and it gets back to a better time for me. Hi, John. Oh, Joydy. Hey, Joydy. Welcome in. So interesting enough, I have been doing a lot of embroidery work this weekend. And DST is an embroidery file. If you don't know, I can use Husqvarna and a bunch of other extensions, but I tend to use DST. And so I'm trying to figure out why he's putting DST. Why has Russ got DST? And then I realized because the rest of the country still has daylight savings time, that maybe that's what you're referring to. And then Joydy made me understand that, right? So I'm looking over here because I've got chat over here. The chat over here is too small for me to see. So like I said, we'll eventually get this set up all worked out. Hey, Charlotte, welcome in. Thanks for being with me this afternoon. Hey, Sherry, welcome in. Mama Jan here, and of course she's doing her workout during the live, so welcome in. Kevin Martha's here. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. And of course, Nightbot's working, right? Says, give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. That's always a good deal. And what else is going on? Hey, Mary, welcome in. There's Mona from all the way down in Tucson. Welcome in. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Jean's here. Welcome in, Jean. Sherry says, I just came home from vacation with my family in Phoenix. Had a fabulous time. That's awesome to hear. Hope they kept you busy. We have so many activities this time of the year. We're into the first full week now of the Cactus League. So we are just now starting week 2. It's just amazing. And all the visitors and all that. You can certainly tell the difference in our traffic starting in the month of February and now into March. And guys, who would believe we are in March 1st? I cannot believe that today is March 1st. Joydy's here. Kevmar. Pat says, hello, John. I think I have been following me all around the internet. Look at all those lovely ribbons. Thank you. Yes. So I am so excited. I took Sean's advice from the guy who sews. And Sean says, you know, just take a risk, put yourself out there. I did put 3 items in the quilt show that we had last weekend. And those 3 items, out of 3, 2 actually got honorable mentions. So I did get 2 ribbons. And so now I'm starting what I call my Ian wall. And I don't know that I would ever catch up to Ian. And I doubt I'll ever have the talent that that poor guy has. I mean, the work and stuff he just puts out is amazing. But it's fun that I now have a couple of ribbons hanging on the wall. And let me show you. So I entered two machine embroidery items. That is what won. Let me see if I can figure out how to make the camera work. See, look at that. All right, so this is one of the wall hangings I put in. This is called Santa's Workshop. And so that is one that won a honorable mention ribbon. So I was very excited about that. See, guys, I still got to figure out how to get those things. Maybe it might be better if I don't zoom in. See if that gives you a better, yeah, that maybe gives you a better look. So that was one. This is called Santa's Workshop. I really like the fact because it does a lot of stitching over top. So that's why that white snow stands out the way it does, because it almost gives it a 3D effect. So I was really excited. That was one quilt that I entered into the show. The other was the train scene that I had done. And this one also won honorable mention. So for both of the machine embroidery that I entered, I did get honorable mention for both of those. And that is a 6-window scene, all done, again, machine embroidery. And I did not win anything for the quilt that I put in, but that's okay. I did walk away with 2 ribbons, and how awesome is that? So first show, 2 ribbons. So let's keep that trend going, right? I do have a show coming up in a couple of weeks. The State of Arizona Quilt Guild is having their show, and I did enter the train in that, in the Stars and Stripes quilt that I had done during I think it was Memorial Day last year. I entered that as well. So I've got a couple of those going in, and we'll see how it does in that show. So again, very exciting. If you are in the local area and wonder what we are doing and what's going on, if you go over to guyscrafttoo.com, to our website, I always have local events in that are coming up. So next weekend, I am actually going to go to the Cactus Needle Quilter Show. It's from the Grand Stitchers. That's a quilt group that meets here in Surprise, Arizona. Their show is next Saturday, so we will be over perusing and seeing what their show looks like. We appreciate any and all of you, Miss Mona, that showed up for the Palo Verde Patchers quilt show that we had last weekend. And we want to share the love and support the other groups, especially local. So I'll be over at the Cactus Needle Quilter Show next Saturday, and then also next weekend here out in the Surprise area, the Sun City Guild is having their biannual show. They do theirs. Interesting enough, we do ours on even years, and so does Sun City. You would think we'd almost want to do opposite years, but they do theirs on the even years as well. Their group is called Quilters on Grand, and theirs will be over at the Fairway Recreation Center, again, over here in Sun City. So if you're curious, if you're in the area, if you feel like driving out to the West Valley, those shows are listed with dates and times and all the information on our website. And then the show that I entered in is March 20th through the 21st, and that's called Let Freedom Ring. It's called Quilt Arizona 2026. It is done by AQG, which is the Arizona Quilters Guild. And that show this year is going to be actually out in the Glendale area at the Martin Auto Museum and Event Center, which is different. For the last 10-15 years, they've been at the Mesa Center. I actually went to that show 3 years ago, I think, and actually took a class by Cindy. So I had a class all day, which then got us into like the preview party for the quilt show in that, and then was able to do their vendor walk in that. It's a nice large show. That's the one I did enter the train in the Stars and Stripes. But again, it's nice that it's going to be out on the West Valley this time, and I'll drop in and see how that goes. That show we'll go to on Sunday, since we're doing the show in Surprise on Saturday, because I don't want to spend all day just running shows. I like to bounce around. All right, so let's see what else is going on. Wow, I'm way behind on chat. Mona says, I was so thrilled to receive such a warm hug from you. Oh, that was to Mama Jan. Okay. Sherry says there was so much to do. Yeah, there always is so much to do in Arizona, especially this time of year. You know, it's funny because my daughter goes, it must be nice to live, you know, where you can grill and cook out year round and that. And I laugh because, you know, right now with the snow, the cold and everything, obviously they're not grilling out. We are. And I told her, I said, yeah, but here in Arizona, July and August, especially when it's 115, you don't want to go outside and stand next to a 500-degree Blackstone griddle and things like that. So we still have a couple of months a year that we don't grill here or as often. We'll see. Hey, Joydy. Hey, Brian. Welcome in. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Oh, Mary T says, I love the Sandals Workshop. Thank you very much. Haven't seen you for a while. We definitely need to spend some time together soon. Jody says, congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all. Thank you guys very much. What else is going on? All right. Oh, Sherry goes, I was in Surprise. Went Arizona Quilt Shop. Yes, they're one of our local stores. We have 5 within 10 minutes of each other. Arizona Quilts is one of the bigger stores on the West Valley, especially for fabrics, because that's all they carry is fabrics and kits. They do long arming and they do classes, but they don't have, they actually don't sell machines, which I think is kind of to their advantage at times. Mary T says, is the window embroidery one piece or did you need to sew each piece together? Yes, you have to sew each piece together. So the window scene is 6 panels and then you have to stitch do all the sashing and all that around them. All right. All right, I think I've caught up. Stitcher says people grill in the winter if their power goes out. Amen to that. Tell you what, my niece up in Fredericksburg last year or 2 years ago, they were like 8 days without power. And she said what drove them nuts the most was not having coffee. And she actually got a old-fashioned coffee pot because they had a camp stove so they could percolate coffee on the stove. I don't know. It's just crazy. Brian, interesting you say that. I have not seen Sally anywhere for a while, so I wonder what she's got going on. Yeah, because I sometimes catch her on some of the other channels, but I haven't seen her pop up anywhere. Oh, look at sweet Granny Kathy. You are most welcome for the quilt pattern. And I've got a couple to give away today. Oh, Pat says, just sent you a message on the craft side. I'll mail the package Tuesday if I get the information. I will send it to you just after the live today. Oh, Mr. Quilter is here from New Zealand. Welcome to the channel. If you have not watched his channel, you need to go over and watch Mr. Quilter from New Zealand. I have been watching some of his videos this week. He's a Juki fan. He used to have a Burnett. And so I just watched that video the other day and thought it was interesting to get his reasoning on how he switched over. He also has a very calming, very relaxed voice and not nearly as animated as I am. So if you need a break after listening to me, some of his would be great. If you have a channel, you should be able to hit ! selfie, and that should populate your channel there. I haven't seen Zaza yet. Did I miss Zaza? All right, what else is going on? All right, so let me tell you what else am I doing, because I have so much. I started working on these. I found this pattern the other day, and I thought it was so cool. So let me see if I can zoom in again. All right, that's zoom out. So this is zoom in. So I found this. Come on, John, you can do this. How cool is that? I am making, come on, get focused. Making these as pot holders, you know, warmers, right, to sit your dishes on. So it's all machine embroidery. I just started doing those. I've got 2 done. So one I got off on one of the colors, so that's fine. So that'll be mine. This is going to be for my daughter. So trying to get some of these done to send to my daughter and niece and son for Easter. And if you can't tell, that's supposed to be a big flop-eared bunny. Now the pattern actually shows doing ropes around here too and extending it out, but I just kind of like the fact you could use this as a pot holder. I never would, it's pretty thick, but I did put Insul Bright in here and have that ready to go so you can so we can use it to set our bowls and that on. So that is one of the things I have been working on this weekend. So I have those going. I did start, I'll show you the quilt that I'm working on in just a few minutes. I did get a couple of quilt tops done, and one of them that I got done is called Seafood. And again, of course, it's a Villa Rosa quilt. Interesting enough, I have a lot of kits sitting here. So I'm sitting here sewing. I keep looking over and going, oh, why did I never do that kit? And so I stop what I'm doing. I go over and get that kit, start working on it. And then I realize, okay, you still have stacks of stuff everywhere. It's just, I have been ADHD this entire weekend. And now I can't find the kits. All right, so Seafood is the one that I got done. I really kind of liked it. It was different. It was for Easter, so I'm hoping if we ever get the long arm working again, that we might get this long armed in time for Easter. But I really liked these fabrics and that. I bought this actually as a kit from Villa Rosa. And so this went together, guys, super, super fast. All right. This is going to get on my nerves. You're going to have to move. But it is just a couple of big panels. So if you really have some really cool fabric that you want to show off, that seafood seafood pattern is definitely the way to go. Maybe it's better if I show you back here. But anyways, I got this done literally. It took probably 20 minutes or so to cut, and probably another 45 minutes. So you could easily get this this one done in about an hour and a half. And I thought that might be really cool if we can get it done and I can get it shipped in time. I might end up shipping that off to my daughter along with the pot holders for Easter, just because typically for like the last 5 years I've gone home for Easter, and typically the last company I worked for, we were off on Good Friday. So I was able to travel on Good Friday, be there Saturday, and usually fly home Sunday or come home Monday. It's just too expensive. Every flight that I look at right now is like $600 to $800, and it's just way too expensive to try to go all the way to the East Coast, spend money on hotels, flights, like everything that I need to do to be there. So I'm not going this year. My partner and I did go last year, but this year we decided it's just financially, it's not fiscally responsible at the end of the day. It's such a quick trip in that you don't get enough time with the family to really justify how much it costs. So we're not doing the trip this year, but if I can send her an Easter top, some pot holders, things like that, it'll feel like I'm still contributing and being there. All right, let's jump back over because I saw Sally jumped in. So funny, we were talking about Miss Sally and she shows up. So sometimes you just got to call their name out, right? Oh, Russ says Zaza is on vacation. Yeah, I saw her at QuiltCon and I saw the pictures of her at QuiltCon, but yeah, I guess I didn't realize, right? QuiltCon was just literally just got over. So that's hard to believe. So yeah, I bet she's having a good time in the States while she's here. Sally says, hi y'all, I missed a week and lurked last week. Hope y'all doing great. I'm still crocheting. Look at you, girl, you go. So we just worry about you, Miss Sally. We like just knowing you're here. You don't have to be chitty chatty, but it always is good to know that you're around. Oh, look, Pat goes, she came to the USA and she didn't stop by Michigan. Don't feel bad. She didn't make it over to Phoenix either, apparently. But I am hoping next year to make Atlanta. I have yet to break that to my partner, so we'll see. But I am thinking it would be nice to get to Atlanta next year for QuiltCon. If we can do one on East Coast every couple of years, and then hopefully they come back to Phoenix in 2028, that would be great. Pat says, love the bunny. Hey, Delia, thanks for being here this afternoon. If I'm missing hey to somebody, it's not, don't take it personally. I absolutely don't mean to overlook any of you. Oh, look at Danielle. Hey, Danielle, welcome in. Who else? Yes, Mr. Quilter says, I love the fabric, especially with fall. I did too. That's honestly why I bought it. It was actually on Villa Rosa as a closeout. So I don't think I paid but like 30 bucks for that. I don't even know if I paid that. I ended up buying maybe more than one kit on that shopping spree, but it was really pretty cheap, and I just loved the fabric and had never even looked at the pattern. So, but I do like that pattern. That pattern is called Seafood. Brian goes, quick and easy would still take me a month. I get that, believe me. Oh, look at Balloonist. Thank you. That was very sweet. Brian, me too. Also in the, oh, she's in the Outer Banks. I used to go to the Outer Banks every year. In fact, we went down one year after the big hurricane that came through. We were waiting on them to build the bridge to get over to the island where we used to stay. And I think we had booked June and September that year. And so obviously we missed the June trip because the bridge was out in that, but they had just opened it like 2 weeks or a week before we were supposed to go down in September. So we went back down in September. It was just crazy. Look at Sally. She goes, she hadn't sewn in a year. She's still busy though. She's still crafting. And as long as she's keeping her hands busy, that keeps the mind nimble and hopefully keeps her out of a little bit of trouble, but I don't think it keeps her completely out of trouble. All right, who else? Brian goes, I haven't crocheted in a year. I actually bought a crochet kit from Annie's so I could start getting back into the habit and all that. Now I have 2 months worth of stuff sitting over there, and I have yet to get the first chain going, but I really do want to get back into crocheting at night while I watch TV and that. What else did I do? So that's one quilt top I got done. Like I said, that was Villa Rosa. It was called Seafood. Then I looked over and I saw this other one, and this one is called Radiance, and it is by Villa Rosa as well. And it is literally, this one finishes out 47 by 60, and it takes 1 yard each of 3 fabrics. So it has a theme fabric, a contrast, and a coordinate. And again, I bought this as a kit because I just fell in love with it. So it's very black and white, which is not necessarily usually my style, but I really like that. And I did put it on my Facebook page the other day, so a good picture is out there as well. And this one went together. So if you really have a theme fabric you really want to highlight, this is a great pattern to do that with. And this one went together pretty quick as well. So I did get that done. So again, now 2 more quilt tops. So my partner loves when I just can knock out a quilt fairly quick and then just stack them up, because I think now we have 30, we're in the 30s. I probably have 31, 32 quilt tops that need to be done. And of course I keep telling him, well, this one's a priority. I want to do this one first. So fortunately for me, he just doesn't pay attention to me all the time and just has the patience of Job, or he wouldn't be able to live with me. What else? Oh, so Ray Steves is doing our quilting retreat for the summer kickoff, and he's coming in and do patterns. But one of the things that I learned from Ray that he had talked about is that he started putting labels and quilt labels on the back of all of his quilts. And actually just when he quilts them on the long arm, actually lets them get quilted into the pattern and all that. So I thought, how cool is that? And I'm getting to the age now where folks, I show a quilt and then later they go, what is that pattern? Or where did it? And I'm like, guys, I don't remember. So I am trying to do better. So I ended up coming up with this label that I thought would really be cool. And so I embroidered this. That camera's just not going to focus, is it? Huh. Anyway, so I put the guyscrafttoo logo on there, and then I did put that it was quilted by me, the name of the quilt pattern, and then the month and year that we finished that quilt. So I am not planning on doing this for every quilt back that we do, but the ones that I know I'm keeping are the ones that we're going to gift. I am planning to stitch this out on my Herbert over there and get this put together and get these stitched into the backs of the quilts. Because I think my grandkids and that, especially like the Christmas one I keep talking about I'm going to work on for them, I think that will be very meaningful to them. And it took me a while to play around to finally find the right size and what I was looking for. All right, so else. All right. Sally goes, never far from trouble. Something just told me that. I wasn't sure, but you know, just something said. Oh, seafood. Where'd I put the pattern now? Seafood is only 38 by 56. And it takes takes 2 fat quarters. Because they usually tell you it takes 1 fat quarter, so 2 fat quarters and 3/8 of a yard of 2 fabrics. So it's got a combination. So it takes 2 different fat quarters, and then it takes 2 fabrics, 3/8 of a yard, then a 1/4 yard for, and then 3/8 of a yard plus the binding. So, but it does finish out 38 by 56. So I really, like I said, if you wanting to just put something together fairly quick in that one or Radiance actually both went together pretty quick. So what am I working on? I am working on Tibet finally, and I am going to sew that today while we are together. This one finishes 64 by 88, and it has several different fabrics in it. I actually bought these at, again, from Villa Rosa as a kit, and it worked out really well. And if I could find the others, I have gotten a few put together. So this is the start. So that is one block that goes together. So that's what I'm going to work on today. And then it gets paired. Let me go off camera for a second with this block. And again, I bought this mainly because it was very mid-century to me. So I think it's going to be really cool when you get these blocks put together. So how cool is that going to look? All right, so I am excited about that. And then I really wanted to get this done, number one, because I wanted to see what it looked like and finished out. Because I had done the potato chip quilt for my granddaughter for Christmas. I need to do one for my grandson. And I thought, you know what can I do? But I wanted a fairly simple pattern. I didn't want anything really complicated for him. And I found this kit and pattern, and I thought, you know what, that may be actually the perfect one for him. So, but sometimes I just have a hard time envisioning what it was going to look like finished, and I thought, you know what, let me just go on and do this one real quick, and if so, then I can if I like the way this finishes out and that, then I've got the fabrics and that, I'll go grab and build him one. I don't think it's going to finish out big enough for a queen size, and that's really what I was trying to make him. This is only 64 by 88, so I don't think it's quite queen size. But I figured I could always put another border or two around it and make it finish out that way if that's what I want to do. All right. Joyce says, I love a black and white quilt. I do too. I never thought I would. And that black and white fabric has such vibrant reds and, blue, like colors in it. It's just like to me, it just really pops, and it just really went well with that pattern. So I was really happy about that. Oh, Sally says, my labels are 99% on the back and quilted in. See, I never thought about quilting those in until Ray mentioned it. And I thought, you know what, all that stuff I've sent to my grandkids and, gifts and that, some of them do have, I do have a guyscrafttoo label that I sew in. I was looking to see if I had any here. So I do have a guyscrafttoo label with washing instructions that I, put in most of the quilts, but it's not enough to I just would like to have something a little bit more memorable for them. So that is going to be the next thing that we start doing. Hey, Katie Bug is here. Hey, Katie. I saw Katie today with Sean was on her channel, and they were doing a block of the month. So I was able to jump in and say hi to them for a little bit. And it's nice to hear them chitty chat and what was going on with them. I had to try to stay out of the studio so my partner could think and not have me distract him as he was trying to figure out how to get all this technology working for us. We still have a long way to go with the technology, but we'll get there. So it is getting there. Oh, Pat says Tibet would be the right size for Valor. Send me the fabric requirements for that one, and I will send you more fabric. Absolutely. I will get that done. Get that over to you. All right. Sorry, making a note, because if I don't, I will forget it. So that goes, I've done a couple of those, lots of free patterns online. My girl bought me a kit a while back. They are fun. Yeah, I need to do that. It's always good to see you, Katie. It was fun dropping in today and being there for just a little bit. If you haven't seen the recording that I did, John does not remember, but somehow John decided that he needed to do this Elizabeth Hartman pattern, and he bought the show and tell pattern from Elizabeth Hartman. I bought it as a kit. It was not a cheap kit. Actually comes with the large quilt, which finishes out 75 by 85. I can definitely tell you it is very overwhelming for me and just very intimidating. Not at all. I have no idea what I was thinking when I bought this, but that's okay. The pattern itself is 58 pages, which again, I just can't believe I did that. But I bought the kit. I've got the kit, and I am going to do it. So my plan is I am going to start working on this later this month, and I am going to do this as a block of the month, and it is going to take for 12 months. So it will be 2027 before you actually see this quilt done. My guess is it could be later into 2027. I wouldn't say that I'll get this done March or April of 27, but I will start working on it. I know a couple of folks have said they want to purchase it and they would like to join in. If you're in that situation and think that's what you would like to do, that would be amazing. But I do plan to work on that and just do it as a block of the month, because I don't know any other way to do it. I've got too many other projects I want to do. I don't want to be frustrated and feel like I'm tied down with one particular one. And that one is definitely going to be challenge my skills. So we'll see how it goes. Joyce says, I'm fixing to do a Quilt of Valor, but I can't decide which pattern I want to use. And if you know, Villa Rosa actually has a Quilt of Valor section on their site. And so they have quite a few. And then, what is the quilting one? There's a site out there that has a bunch of free patterns. I can't think of the website now, because we did one of their table runners actually for one of the quilting bees. So that's another good resource. I wish I could remember the website. Oh, Pat says she has the show and tell pattern. She wants to do it with someone. Girl, you can join us. Feel free to. I think I'm going to do it on a Thursday night. We'll see. I want to pick one night a month to do it, and I'll have everything cut prior, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know how else to do it. But I want to be able to concentrate, want to have time. And want to get it all figured out. Mr. Quilter says it does look incredibly cute. It is. he's been tempted, but might be a future perhaps 2030. I've seen some of the things that you do, Mr. Quilter. I think you do a pretty nice job from what I have seen. Pat says she'd like to do it together. You're absolutely welcome to do it, and you can jump in and join anytime you want. It's hard for me to say March is already here and that I want to start later this month and think, oh my gosh, it's already here. It's, you know, it's not like I'm saying next month anymore. I say that as I'm stitching a Christmas quilt. I've already finished a Halloween quilt for the, you know, it's like, and then I've still got this one over here, and it's all cut out, and I actually have these colors, and that's the ballerina. And I want to work on that, and that one's sitting over there, so if I can get this one knocked out, I can get the ballerina in the next week or so. So maybe next Sunday on the live, you'll actually see me stitching the ballerina and not stitching Christmas. But we'll see. Oh, and then the other one that I have is Daybreak. And that was another kit that was sitting over there, so I grabbed it. Daybreak finishes 39 by 52. It is all basically charm packs, charm squares. And so I've got those all sorted in that. So I thought, well, you know what? It is very springish. I'll knock it out real quick and get it done because I have done this pattern a few times. And that's why you don't see my label on here. When you see my label on here, that means that's John's. So like this Tibet, when you see a guyscrafttoo label on there, it's the only way I can keep up with. That belongs to me. And these are some giveaways. So I've got 2 patterns that we'll give away tonight. I thought would be fun. All right. Oh, Joyce says, check out Jess. So blessed by Jess. Did a wall. Yes, I really, so I Googled everybody because I thought, you know, there's got to be someone out there that has done that. The only one I could find was Jess over on her channel. And I thought it was a really brilliant idea that she put that together as, she's basically doing a month at a time, but she's doing it as a monthly wall hanging. And that was pretty shrewd of her. So I have been watching her. I do want to go back and watch some more of her because I know she gave some pointers in that as she went through the pattern, and so I do want to see what else she's got to say about it. Oh, Delia says Quilt of Valor website actually has free patterns. That's awesome. I really should go out and take a look at their website. We do honor quilts here, so our quilt guild does what we call honor quilts, and it is honoring veterans and that, and it's very similar to Quilt of Valor, but we don't call it Quilt of Valor because we don't want to pay into that royalty or whatever. And we do we make the size quilts and that our ladies want to make, so we don't have to follow all of their rules and that kind of stuff. So that's why we don't call ours Quilt of Valor. We call them honor quilts. But I tell you, some of the work that these women do and put into that for our veterans is just absolutely amazing. Oh, look at Brian. Brian's got more skill. He just kills me. Jody says giveaways. We always have. Trying to get back in the habit of doing better with giveaways, right? Oh, Brian goes, don't feel bad. I'm still trying to pick the fabric for the Christmas tree table runner Stephanie gave us the pattern for over a year ago, right? And it's so hard to believe that Stephanie and I did that together, and she was on my channel for Thanksgiving and that day. And I feel like I haven't talked to her forever. We used to text back and forth some, and I can tell you, work has certainly gotten in the way, and I've just been crazy. Plus, she's had, you know, a lot of personal things and had the family issues. Then she had her quilt retreats. Then she had the cruise. Then she had Japan. You know, like that poor girl. I tell you what, people think I'm busy. It says, Mr. Can Do It, right? I saw as a wall hanging at a cut up and sew. Florida would be cute to an animal for each month with a seasonal month. I agree. Like I said, Jess really did a nice job on hers, and I thought it was interesting the way she put those things together for her site. All right, make this work. All right. So it's interesting. Over here I've got my iPad, so that's where I'm reading chat. Over here I've got the cameras telling me what's going on. Over there I've got a new camera that likes to auto zoom in that. Then I've got this camera that's supposed to be down here. If we get everything working, hopefully in the next week or so, we'll actually be able to show you the entire design studio. So over here I actually have my cutting station in that. We will have a camera on that. Over here I have one embroidery station, so that's where Herbert, which is my Husqvarna Epic 2, that's what I've been doing the pot holders on, which has worked out nice. But there is a camera there as well, and then next to that on the other side is actually going to be the new Harry Potter embroidery machine. So I'm really excited to get that. So that will share a space over there, so I'll have two single needle embroidery machines set up. And then, so that camera will be there. Then we have a camera that will actually show the long arm. When that gets working again, my 10 needle can also be shown as part of that long arm, or I have another camera that will actually show my ironing station, and that's so if I want to get up and iron during a live now, I'll be able to do that. Still be on camera for everyone, and it can also move over and show my 10 needle. So it's going to, oh, I just stitched that again. I did air stitching again, guys. What's wrong with me? I had no idea. See, these machines are not supposed to run if they don't have thread, but they do. Let me see this one. Yeah, it's fine. And it's got bobbin. All right, so I don't know what I did. All right, do that. And it was the last block that I needed to finish. All right, let's get you out of the way. I think that light is going to go to the side. I feel like all I've done is thread machines this weekend between trying to do those pot holders and that on a single needle. But then at the same time, changing the threads out, and that to me just makes sense because I've got so much other going on. It's like, I don't want to get into all the craziness that is that. So I'm sticking to it that way. Come on, guy. I will say, as much as I love my Juki, after playing with the automatic thread feeder on the Husqvarna, on the Viking, it's like, there's just no comparison. And Juki definitely cheaped out trying to do the do a thread needle on here. It's very manual. Okay, so that does not want to go in there for some reason. So what did I do? Oh, you didn't thread it right, John. That's what happens. Oh my gosh, no, don't do this. Come on, guys. All right, there's my steps over there. No idea. Really? I cut that thread. I know I did. No, I guess I didn't. All right. Now it's cut. All right, let me see if I can get it rethreaded, because I was hoping to work on that charm pack a little bit, because once I finish those blocks, I really want to go over and press that and all before I do the other. I had hoped to go to the park home next weekend and then realize we have all the quilt shows here. So it's like, okay, so we're not going to be able to go to the park home next weekend. I can't go the following weekend. It's like, okay, now I know why we're selling Shady Pines, is because we can't get there. It's just crazy. We have not been there in 2026, and it doesn't look like we're going to get there anytime soon. I've been working on flight reservations for the holidays, and those have been crazy. Guys, what's going on here? Nope. Doesn't like the way that's threading either. Come on, guys. All right. Oh, that's because you got the foot down. So it has been crazy trying to get the flights booked for Myrtle Beach. We got the reservations in that for the condo and that. But I mean, like the flights have just gone off the charts. I'm like, what in the world is going on with flights and the expense? So I think we're actually, for the first time ever, going to fly on Frontier. So I've really thought about it, trying to figure out, but American is just so expensive right now, and trying to get, made it work just perfect, and trying to get everybody else going, it just, I have not been able to do that. All right, so what else? Pat goes, have you named the new machine yet? I have not. I felt like it's kind of like birthing a baby, right? It is the Harry Potter machine. It's not going to be called Harry. But I have no idea. It will be something from Harry Potter, obviously. But I just feel like I have to see the machine and kind of play with it a little bit to see what I want that machine to be called. All right, I did air stitching again, so let's, all right, so it's just going to be that kind of weekend. Sometimes you just have those weekends, John, and that's okay. Let's see if we can get him rethreaded again. Hercules wants to be childish, and that's okay. I put the foot down to do that on this machine. All right, so let's check the bobbin now. So we have had a reminiscent weekend this past weekend. So interesting enough, I found a copycat recipe the other day for Taco Bell Mexican pizza. And, you know, I'm an 80s child, and that is one of the things that, you know, as a teenage boy, Taco Bell was the dream, right? And that Mexican pizza was just perfect. I know they re-released it at some point. I just can't eat Taco Bell anymore. It just doesn't. Now that I'm older and maybe have a little bit more refined taste, and I require real beef. That taco meat that they call it just doesn't cut it for me anymore. But anyways, found a copycat recipe for that. Nice. Fingers crossed, guys. Nope, not going to work. Yep, didn't think so. You're going to do the same thing. Hercules and I have had some bobbin issues, and it appears that's what we're going to deal with on a live tonight. So we did, I made taco pizza from Taco Bell this weekend. Actually turned out really well. Very interesting when you add some, you know, good enchilada sauce to it and different things, how great that can turn out. And that worked out really well. So much so that I just didn't feel like cooking yesterday. So my partner tells me, well, if you want me to cook tomorrow, I can, Saturday. And I was like, yeah, it would be nice. He usually does Sunday. But I had found also a cheat for Chipotle chicken bowls, which is what I had planned to make yesterday. And so he's actually making it today for us. So he's cooking 2 days in a row. And so he's making Chipotle chicken bowls for us today, which is another cheat recipe. But he goes, well, I can make Saturday night what I planned to do Sunday. And I said, that's fine. And he likes Taco Bell's Crunch Wraps. So he actually made Taco Bell Crunch Wraps from scratch for us, which were, again, pretty cool, pretty awesome. So he did that. And so we had those this weekend, which was pretty nice. So it's like, it's been a very nostalgic, reminiscent weekend. Just kind of crazy. All right, so let's see. See, there's the problem. I have no idea why I have. All right, thread everywhere right now. So let's do this. Get that out of the way. Okay. All right, I think I fixed it. Like I said, Hercules has been giving me, he'll stitch for so long, and then all of a sudden, he gets moody. And let me tell you, when he gets moody, it is just a whole new ball game. So we'll see if we can't make him work. And down to my last block. I just wanted to finish one more block. So it's like, come on, guy. No. There it is. All right. Oh. There. All right. Let's see. Oh. Yes, I know the presser foot's not down. See, I don't know what's going on with this. All right, what else? Oh, let's catch up on chat. Thanks, Sally. I do like the pot holders. I do think they're different. I think they're adorable for this time of year, so I'm kind of excited about those. Brian goes, just out of curiosity, you don't have any cameras pointing at your tulip drawer, right? I will take pictures of the tulip drawer and post those at some point. But no, I don't have cameras in there, only security cameras around the room to make sure nobody gets in to get my tulip. Can you imagine if somebody broke into the house and took my tulip? That would be awful, guys. Hey, Kathleen, thanks for being on this afternoon. Sally goes, he doesn't want anyone to know where it is. Oh, Kathleen says she likes the sewing gnome. Thank you very much. I think he's adorable. It's by Timeless Treasures. And I had not seen it, had not planned to get it. And then Kathy, who was at the quilt retreat, sent it to me and said, hey, did you happen to see this? I thought you might be interested in it. Oh, I gotta take. I need to focus on what I'm doing, right? Instead of. So I had missed it because I really was trying to be good. I was so good there for a while. Now all of a sudden I've got stuff everywhere and spending a fortune on things. So it's like, what did I do? All right, that one goes over there. How did I fix this last night? Because it's... All right. I ended up having to clean all of that out last night to make little Hercules happy. And we'll see if I can't get that lined up again. How crazy. All right, who else? Oh, Pat, thank you. Because I have been asking everyone about Frontier, and I can't get anyone to tell me anything other than that they're a low-budget airline. And I thought, yeah, so was Southwest, supposedly, and all these others. And let me tell you, not anymore. And so I just felt like it was worth a shot. Oh, get their credit card to get free luggage. Thank you. See, it's all those hints that make all the difference. Hey, K Money Quilting, welcome in. Thanks for being here this afternoon. Regina, yum. Sally says, I made homemade tacos Friday for my guy. Happy he likes them. Jody says, I could see the beach. We were on the 15th floor. My service, oh, Pat was. My service dog loved people watch since we couldn't leave the room. Only he got to go potty outside. Oh, crazy. Oh, I can post those recipes sometimes. Because believe me, we're always Googling, scrolling, and looking for new recipes. So happy to share. Because that makes all the difference, right? Okay, now, make sure I got that in correctly. I actually changed the needle and everything on Hercules yesterday. He should have been a very happy little camper. But again, he's going to be moody. He does have his own personality. They all do, don't they? All right, who else? You have to, Pat, I have to be on to Joydy. Her and Brian can be very mischievous. So I have to keep an eye on both of them because I never know what they're going to be up to. See, I knew that wasn't in right. All right. So guys, I'm probably not going to get to finish this last block before the live is over, but that's okay. Let's jump over to Nightbot. I've got 2 patterns to give away. I'm going to give one of Daybreak away, because that's the pattern I had hoped to start working on tonight. And then Saltwater Taffy is another one that I really would like to do. It is Saltwater Taffy, finishes out 52 by 58, and it takes 72 5-inch squares. And Daybreak is 39 by 52, and it takes 36 5-inch squares. So I thought both of those are kind of cute. Interesting, especially for this time of year, right? If you're into your pre-cuts and you've got your charm packs and that, I think would really be cool. So let me put in. So if you would, the first one we'll give away is Daybreak, and then right behind it, I'll do Saltwater. And if you will punch in !charm, CHARM, we will get you registered, and then we'll see who Nightbot selects as the winner tonight. To get your prize, I will drop it in the mail for you this week. I just need you to simply send me your name and address. And let me turn that back on so you are able to do that. You need to send it to John at guyscrafttoo.com. And like I said, I will drop it into the U.S. Postal Service one day this week, hopefully sooner rather than later, because it appears we're out of holidays, right, for a while. It's like, guys, I need more holidays. So there. All right, now I think I have that lined up again the way it should. It's interesting. For this one, you've got to drop the feed dogs in order to take the plate out. Or on this particular Juki, you can't take the needle plate off until the feed dogs are out. And then I've got the single needle in, because obviously the bigger one, right, can cause you problems when you're really just doing piecing. And interesting enough, it takes different feed dogs. So I had to change feed dogs to put the single needle in. I'm like, gosh, it's just very interesting, the things that you learn. All right, let's see. All right, I think I've got it all lined back up now the way it goes. And again, I have no idea why this machine does what it does sometimes, but it is what it is. I did start watching Bridgerton today, finally, the next episodes. I am very excited to see if Jonathan finally gets the girl. It's been crazy. All right, now let's drop this down. And let's see if we can make this so before the live is over. Nope, still doesn't like something. Oh. Oh, yes, I know. There. It's all something to do, yeah, see, it's all to do with the, bobbin. So we'll get that figured out. !charm will get you entered into the drawing. And let me jump back over and let's draw our first winner. Hey, Miss Sally from California. When's Daybreak? If you will send me your home address when you have, or just wherever you get mail, again. And if you've won in the past, I don't keep your addresses, so that's why each and every time you've got to send it to me. But I will get Daybreak out to you in the mail this week. And let's do one more. And Sewing Wolf wins the saltwater taffy pattern, and I think this one's really cute. I bought those, but I have not done that one yet. So there is a couple of patterns going out in the mail this week. And again, if you send me an email to john@guyscrafttoo.com, we will get those in the mail for you this week. All right, guys, we are at the top of the hour. I hope that you all enjoyed this hour together, that things are going well for you this week. Hope you have an amazing start to your week. I know I've got lots of things going on, but fortunately I'm at least work from home tomorrow, and then we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But I appreciate you giving me your time, spending some time with me, and I hope things are amazing from you moving forward. And as always, until next time, happy crafting!